Boy, it feels good to be back. Except for the snow. The Rizzo Show starts now.
The Hard Rock Rocksino Northfield Park presents The Rizzo Show.
With me, Mike Polk.
And now your host, Tony Rizzo.
Hey, boy, you guys, I've been gone a long time.
They just made that.
Michael, I feel great. It feels great to be back.
You look like George Hamilton.
I was off for a month. I got some plastic surgery. How does it look, right? Does it look
very
right?
tan?
I missed you.
I missed you more.
I missed doing the show, partner. I heard you did a great job. We are back and we are ready to go. Everybody wants to know where we've been.
Everybody's been asking about you everywhere, every bar I go to.
We are kind of the hottest couple, you know, in Cleveland right now. So I wanted to show everybody where we really were. Michael and I took Mike. He was my date. Look at that. Oh. There we are. Is that me?
That is disturbing.
I'm Lady Gaga.
That's very
I thought
disturbing.
you were my date.
I don't know how I ended up. I don't know if I win or lose there.
That was
It's not good for either.
I don't think I look bad, to tell you the truth. Coming up.
It's going to haunt my dreams.
We're going to talk a little Tribe, a little Cavs, but Mike, we're going to start with our favorite, the Browns. The Combine wrapped up.
Yes.
You don't. I know you don't want
I have it on in the background when I'm walking through the house doing housework, and that's pretty much all you need to do, really, right?
I'm one of those sickies. I watched the 40 times. I watched the quarterbacks throw. You know the best part about this is we're not looking for a quarterback, folks. We're done. We've got our quarterback, which is advantageous for the Browns because the first time in a long time, like the Steelers, like the Ravens have done, we're going to take the best player available.
Isn't that great?
Is there someone out there you like?
I have no early favorites. As you know, I'm always a trust and Dorsey kind of guy thus far, and I want defense. I do know that. I want defense at the top.
I need some weapons for Baker, but Dorsey has a history of getting great wide receivers in the second and third round.
Yes.
Let's see what happens there. Dorsey was asked at the Combine this week, where is the strength of this year's draft class?
Well, I mean, it's defensive line. I mean, we all know that. But if you really look in the draft at different positions along the draft, there's some really nice depth in day two and early part of day three. So I think that overall this draft class is a pretty good draft class. And I think the defensive line really helps that.
Michael, I think you're going to get your wish, and I think it's going to be defense. I would put D-line at the top right now as to who I think the Browns are going to take. I wouldn't rule out O-line, and I wouldn't rule out tackle. When you draft that quarterback like Baker, you want to get him as tackle to play with him for 10 years. They only signed the Robinson for a year, the guy that played last year, and a one-year deal, and I was surprised by that, but I think line of scrimmage where the Browns are going.
Another thing we have to consider, though, is obviously so much of this is dependent on what they do in free agency.
Right.
That's what's going to figure. That's what'll dictate all of this. You know, if they make some big splash in signing a defensive lineman and a receiver, that changes the whole. So trying to guess right now what he's going to do is pretty much impossible. But it's still fun to do, and you're right. It is so fun to be in a position where we're not just saying if that quarterback falls to 7. You know, like this is just a fun place to be, and it's very strange for us.
The other thing to keep your eye on is quarterback. I know we already have Baker, but you know our backup's 37 years old, and Drew Stanton. And I wouldn't be surprised, folks, if in the 4th or 5th round, Browns take a flyer on a QB. Quarterbacks are used as currency now in the NFL. If you have a couple good ones, could turn out to be something big for you. I know Tyrod Taylor will not be back.
Right.
What about the future of Jamie Collins? Michael, there was a rumor out, I think it was NBC Boston or New England, that said the Browns were talking or to teams about Jamie Collins moving. He's got a big contract. I am one of the few people in town who think he did not play that badly last year. I know he didn't have a good game every week, but I think he's a solid player. The problem is he doesn't play up to his contract.
One of the complaints about him is that he does take some plays off. That's what a lot of people say. I don't have the eye to see those sorts of things necessarily. You can see, of course, when they put one on YouTube of him dogging it every once in a while, you can obviously tell that. But you're right, he's got a big contract. We have the 4th most money to spend, though, on our salary cap in the NFL. And this might be one of those good teams have contracts where they're overpaying somebody for underperforming sometimes. And I would love it if that were a luxury that we could afford right now.
Right now we can.
We can right now.
We have tens of millions under the cap.
But again, it'll depend on what they do. You know, if they go after somebody like, I don't know, Odell Beckham or something like that, you never know. They might not have that kind of money anymore.
The Giants claim they're not going to trade Odell Beckham. But I agree with you. The Browns need a wide receiver. They do. Baker needs weapons. How about the guy that set the Combine on fire, DK Metcalf? This kid is big and fast, and, you know, he reminds me of, dare I say it, Josh Gordon.
Oh, my.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's got that kind of build, that kind of body. He can catch the football. I don't know, though, if Dorsey, Michael, would take a receiver high in the first round.
It does seem unlikely.
It's not his MO.
Based on his history, he's a very logical man. He doesn't seem very emotional in the way that we are. He makes very calculated decisions. And you're right, that probably isn't something that he'll do right at the top.
Another wideout that the Browns met with, and they did meet with Metcalf, is Oklahoma's Marquise Hollywood Brown. Now, he is a guy that doesn't have size, but he does have a lot of speed. And speed in the NFL kills. I would prefer the 6'4" guy over Hollywood Brown.
Yes.
But I still think he's a long shot. But who knows? I think Dorsey's going to watch. Folks, I know this sounds incredible, but we have the 17th pick in the draft, which means we're going to make a pick at 11 o'clock. Do I even have to work at Roxino that night on the radio?
I think you'll be all right.
I think I
we won't get out of there until 2 a.m.
Till 2 a.m. after we make our picks. No. All right. What are some of the other Browns' needs? I know this. They're still looking for corners.
Yes.
And they're still looking for pass rushers because that's where the league is going, Michael. It's a passing league. You got to cover the receivers. You got to get to the quarterback.
You're absolutely right. And, we need somebody to pair up with Ward. I mean, I think he had a great rookie season, obviously. But, hey, look. Ram Body Calhoun, you are a heck of a nice guy. You've filled in some admirable ways. You've been on some bad teams, and you've done okay. But we can't have him as a starter in the NFL on our team if we're going to be taken seriously in this league.
Denzel Ward's a Pro Bowler. The concussions worry me, though.
Yes.
Denzel Ward's a Pro Bowler. You put another corner opposite him, and I think you're in good shape.
Yep.
Because the Browns' defense, you're right, they got gashed in the run, too, last year. And I know this isn't sexy, Michael.
No.
But you get a big old D tackle in there in the inside to help stop the run. Maybe a linebacker in the middle. Browns, I see them drafting at least 4 or 5 defensive players.
John Dorsey won't make the same mistake that a lot of fans are making right now. Like, understandably passionate fans who are excited to see a good team for once, in that they're like, let's just get those final pieces and then win that Super Bowl.
We're not
the Browns were ranked 30th in defense in the NFL last year. Yeah. That needs to be addressed. We're not one piece away. Yeah. We're a couple of years away, but it doesn't mean we can't talk playoffs, and that means building towards the future and not going for the immediate fix.
I've heard Dorsey say that. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're not one piece away yet. Maybe next year you will be.
But, we don't want to hear that. We're
right. No, we want to go to the Super Bowl. You know what my mantra is? My mantra used to be find me my quarterback. Yes. Of course, we've got him now, Baker Mayfield. Now, find me my kicker, Michael. Where is my kicker? Greg Joseph is getting a vote of confidence from our special teams coach. But he will, I hear, have competition in training camp, and it will be a training camp kickoff competition.
That's good.
Browns will probably, I don't know if they'll draft a kicker late, but they'll bring in some free agent kickers. Michael, when you're a good team, when you're a decent team, a lot of close games. Kicker's important.
Huge.
And now the extra point isn't automatic.
Right.
Kicker's important. I think the Patriots might franchise tag their kicker, Gostkowski, because he's so important to that team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we probably would have had, there's a chance we would have had 2 more wins last year if we would have had competent kicking. Isn't that amazing?
Maybe 4. Free agency, by the way, begins March 13th. Coming up, we're talking chop, talking baseball. I've got an update on our injured shortstop. Stay with us.
Hey folks, the Pro Football Hall of Fame recently announced their finalists for 2019 induction, and no former Cleveland Browns made the cut this year, which means that the number of Browns enshrined in the Hall remains at 16. That's not too shabby. We have the 6th most inductees in the NFL. And we're all but certain to add to that number when Joe Thomas becomes eligible in 2023. An induction that will be especially impressive because he'll be entering despite having a .300 winning percentage. I love that so much. However, there are a number of other former Browns who are certainly worthy of consideration for the Hall, but who have thus far been overlooked or outright snubbed for a variety of reasons. But who is the most worthy? For a definitive answer to that question, we turn to the one place that has never been wrong about anything, the internet. We used our Rizzo Show Twitter account, which I recently learned existed after doing the show for many years, to ask our followers which Browns they believe deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And we got a surprisingly strong response. Here are the top 5 as selected by you. Number 5, Eric Metcalf. Metcalf spent the first 6 seasons of his NFL career with the Browns, where he served as a jack of all trades. He was a crafty running back and an underrated receiver, but he's definitely best remembered as a dangerous return man. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler and remains the franchise leader in punts returned for touchdowns. Number 4, Dick Shafrath. Shafrath went from winning the 1957 national championship with the Ohio State Buckeyes to solidifying the offensive tackle position for the Browns for 13 seasons. Shafrath blocked for Hall of Fame running backs Bobby Mitchell, Jim Brown, and Leroy Kelly, and played in 7 Pro Bowls. Here's a little perspective on just how good Shafrath was. In 1963, he was voted the Browns team MVP, and that team had freaking Jim Brown on it. Number 3, Hanford Dixon. From 1981 to 1989, the top dog played 115 games for the Browns, racking up an impressive 26 interceptions and 3 Pro Bowl selections. Along with Frank Minifield, Dixon was part of the greatest cornerback tandem to ever play in Cleveland and arguably in the NFL. Number 2, Bernie Kosar. You've probably heard of this guy. Kosar joined the Browns in 1985 and immediately proceeded to cement his legacy in Cleveland by leading the team to 3 AFC Championship game appearances. He might not have won us a Super Bowl, but Kosar did revitalize the Browns, electrify the city, and inspire what most historians still consider to be the most perfect musical composition of all time. Number 1, Clay Matthews Jr. His longevity is a testament to just how great he was for so long. He played for 16 seasons for the Browns and a total of 278 games. That's the 17th most in NFL history. He racked up 1,561 tackles over that span. Matthews was a semifinalist for the Hall again this year, but failed to advance as a result of voter ignorance. Get your act together, people. So those are your picks for the Rizzo Show Countdown this week. Follow the Rizzo Show on Twitter and add your voice to the choir, because after all, your opinion is more important than everyone else's. Thanks, folks.
Michael, I like the countdown. Let me first of all start with Clay Matthews, okay? Sure. Absolutely belongs in. In fact, Tony Grossi lobbied for him this year. Tony from ESPN Cleveland Radio works for me. He's one of the voters, one of the 47 voters for the Hall of Fame. And he tried to make a big push. Also, Clay's daughter tried to make a big push. He got really, really close. I think he might have a year or 2 left eligibility. Cross our fingers on that.
What is it about him, by the way, that's keeping him out?
They think that his numbers are due to longevity.
I see.
You know, rather than longevity working for him,
right.
it's almost kind of working against him here, which is absolutely ridiculous. He has more sacks than like 4 or 5 guys already in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
As far as Bernie goes, remember, Bernie did win a Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys.
It was instrumental in getting there.
That's right, and made a big play in the NFC Championship game. Bernie's in our Hall of Fame. We know that.
Sure.
But he was certainly played at a Hall of Fame level for about 4 or 5 years. Injuries, man, took their toll on poor Byrne. If he would have stayed healthy, he would have been in the Hall of Fame.
Anybody on that list that the people who voted didn't put in that you think should have been on there off the top of your head?
I mean, I'm sure there's a couple old offensive linemen in there that from years gone by, but I think Clay Matthews is the one.
He's the one that's the most overlooked.
Just remember, kids, in 4 years, Joe Thomas is going in on first ballot.
Yes, he is. No doubt.
So we'll have another Hall of Famer in there. I think people are always amazed at how many Hall of Famers we have from the Cleveland Browns. You know Baker's on his way, baby. Whee! I'm sorry, I just had to say.
I hope so.
From football to baseball, and how about your tribe? Michael, it appears Francisco Lindor will be ready for opening. Cross your fingers, knock on wood, get out your lucky rabbit's foot. But it appears that he was took batting in the cages over the weekend, which is a sign he's getting a little closer. If he plays 2 or 3 spring games, I think he'll start on April 1st.
Now tell me if I'm wrong for thinking this, and I know that you will. Would it have been that bad for Lindor to have sat out the entire month? Like, you know, it's the first like 20 games in the coldest weather in Cleveland. He doesn't tend to start up. He doesn't tend to heat up until like later on in the season, anyways. And he's got, you know, like, why not keep him healthy and make sure at the beginning of the season? It's a long season, Riz.
Yeah. He wants to play.
I know he does.
I mean, you know, these kids are, you know, they're ball players. And he wants to play. Yeah. And I think that plays into it, but not a bad idea. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Terry doesn't play him every day.
I hope so.
Even if he does start on opening day. By the way, opening day, sold out. It is April 1st. April 1st.
Right. I think we can,
Michael, I can tell you at least 5 times in the last 15 years it snowed on opening day. And on April 1st, the way this weather. Coming up, is the King's crown falling off? I've got a take on LeBron I think you're going to be surprised by. Stay with me. Yeah. That's Mike shredding. Woo! I'm dizzy. Welcome back. Now, I'm sorry, folks. Lakers and LeBron are a mess. Yeah. I know a lot of you, I know you like it. I really don't. I feel bad for Bron. You know what? Here's what I can't believe, Michael.
Okay.
He went there to make movies and everything because there's no way.
He's not going there.
Look at what he did. He hit the backboard. Watch this.
That's something I would have done in high school basketball.
Right.
No, in fact, I think I did do that in high school
You
basketball.
know what happened? Those kids were all supposed to be traded. They weren't, and now they're pouting.
Yes, they are. They're pouting.
And you don't feel bad for Brian?
No, he dug his own grave. And look, he could have gone to any team and competed. He wanted to go there for like the LA glitz and glamour and stuff.
Get what you get.
Even though he's not nuts about even that whole thing.
Wait till they get.
I agree.
Wait till they get Anthony Davis.
They're going to miss the playoffs. He's going to miss the playoffs this year.
LeBron,
and I love it.
Would he went to the playoffs with the
And
Cavs? Absolutely. Would he went to the playoffs? Absolutely.
Of course they'd be. Here's the thing. He's learning what it's like to play in the West. You can't coast in the West like he got to coast in the East for all those years. And I still love you, LeBron, for everything you did. I'm sure he's watching. For everything you did for the city, and you won us our only championship in 50 years. But I don't feel bad for him at all.
Let's spin the wheel. Here we go. Michael, big deal in baseball.
Here it comes.
Bryce Harper, $330 million. That's not what's shocking to me. You know what's shocking to me?
What's that?
13 years.
Yes.
A 13-year contract. Folks, remember this. The other players that got big contracts, there's outs. 5 years, 3 years. No out
Locked
in this deal. That's guaranteed money if he breaks his leg and never plays another one.
Doesn't matter. If he breaks his leg tonight, like driving home or something.
What a country.
Forever. 2031, that's when his contract's up.
Wow.
It sounds like a science fiction year.
Give me another spin. Here we go. Michael. Mike,
yeah.
when you date a Kardashian, this is what happens to you.
Yeah.
The TMZ cameras got Tristan when they were in New York. Apparently, he was caught making out with one of Khloe's friends. I'm not getting in the middle of that whole thing.
Very popular Instagram model.
But let me just say this. There's a Kardashian curse rumored in the NBA. Do you believe in it?
I think the Kardashians are a curse as a whole. And I do like, though, that the only national news coverage that the Cavs are getting this year is based on
At least they're getting coverage. Spin that wheel again. Who do I got? What do we have? Where am I? Durant. Michael, news flash. Nike had a flash sale selling jerseys for about $28 because people are thinking it's his last year. I think Kevin Durant is leaving the Warriors. How about this? They're still going to be good. Okay?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like even when he leaves. Did they win one without him? Oh yeah, they did.
Sure.
That's right.
No,
by the way, the Warriors with Boogie Cousins are ridiculous.
Yeah, they're hard to watch. I mean, just because it's ridiculous. And you're right, he has to go somewhere else to prove to everybody else, because he's hearing all this. He's hearing you never did it on your own, you never did it like that.
Come to Cleveland and do what LeBron did.
We dare you. That's the best way to get back at LeBron, Kevin. Just so you know, Kevin Durant, you come to Cleveland and play here, that's what'll prove that you're the best player in the world.
One more spin, Michael. One more. Give me another.
What do we got? Oh, boy.
Jason Witten.
What are you thinking?
He's leaving Monday Night Football to come back and play for the Cowboys a year after he retired. I'm going to be as nice as I can.
Okay.
Based on his performance on Monday Night Football, probably the right decision.
I would say that the proof, though, that CTE is a real problem is the fact that he wants to come back, and he must have CTE if he wants to put himself back in front of all these people at this age. Do you think he's still going to be any good?
I don't. I thought his numbers were pretty. He's a Hall of Famer now.
Why is he doing this?
It's a great question.
Is it ego?
Yeah, he said he still has the desire to play.
That sounds terrible.
People ask me why I still do this.
Yeah.
Whether you're watching football or any other sport, you know a great place to do it? The Hard Rock Rocksino. Let's see what's happening this week.
Hey there, rock stars. It's Monica, and this is what's up at the Rocksino. Let the spinning wheel spin at Hard Rock Rocksino Northfield Park for your chance to win $1 million every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in March. Earn entries every day, 3 times on Tuesdays, to win a 2019 Mercedes GLC Luxury SUV on March 31st. Don't forget to swipe your Rockstar Rewards card at any kiosk March 3rd through March 31st to win free play. Win our largest prizes ever all month long. Treat yourself to an amazing 4-course meal special in Kozar's Wood-Fired Grill every Sunday through Thursday, featuring Kozar's famous petite filet or beer-battered walleye, and starting at only $34.99. Enjoy an evening with Marie and the Osmonds on Thursday, March 14th, and don't miss country legend Clint Black on Saturday, March 16th. Find your rhythm at the Hard Rock Rocksino Northfield Park. Vegas experience, Ohio address.
Friends, here we go. Who's our best friends? Yeah, don't go anywhere, folks. Stay tuned for our good friends Big Chuck and Little John, who are coming up next. All right, you've got shows to promote. How's the Tuesday thing going in Hilarity?
Tuesday, Hilarities. We do a variety show there every week, 8 o'clock, just $5, and it's always fun. It's not just stand-up. We do, like, weird variety acts. I bring on guests and stuff. I'll bring on somebody from the Cleveland Public Library, show off some old Cleveland pictures. It's nice. It's fun.
It's fun time, and Hilarities is so great.
It is.
I'll never forget, man, Nick was one of the first people to be down there on 4th Street before any of those businesses were, and I'm glad to see it's working out for him. All right. We'll be back again next week. I got to go to bed because I'm actually working on the radio tomorrow morning. I haven't done that in a while.
This guy's got back from Florida.
Let's go.
Can you tell?
Florida?
What?
I had a little eye work done. Good to be alive.
Good night.
Good night.